Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we're gonna learn about a different thing than creating component. It would be like how we can allow user to extend our components. So we have two libraries here. The first one is Tailwind group variant, and the second one is Tailwind merge. So let's install these and then we'll talk about them. So to install these two libraries, what we're going to do, we're going to go to our console and we'll run these commands npm install or npm I and then tailwind group variant. And along with that, we'll also install tailwind merge. So we can just do it by copying the name and adding it next to this called tailwind group variant. I'll install it. Okay, so these are installed. So first what we can do, we can just use them. First, I will create a utility. Just a moment. Okay, so I'll create a utility file where we'll be adding these type of functions where we can, utilize them in any of our components. So I'm gonna create this new file called utility.ts, and then I'm gonna create a function called merge classes, or I can say custom class, where we'll be having, okay, just a moment. So we'll be having, couple of strings where we'll be finding all the classes and merging them together. So I'll just add here like first attribute would be classes, and it gonna be like string with like array of strings. Okay, and what it will do, it will basically utilize this tailwind merge. So what this particular module do, it merge the existing class with whatever class we pass to the next variable. Like if we have a an array and we have couple of classes in first place, and if we add the classes that are overriding the properties of existing class, then it will merge it by taking the precedence of the next classes. So for example, we have px2 and py1, and if we add py3 along with that, p3 along with that, so what it will do, it will remove the existing paddings and it will apply the 3 padding to all the component, to that particular div where we have these classes. So I'm gonna take a look like how it's doing these all things. So I'm gonna return whatever we have along with the tw merge. So classes dot map, and then okay, I'll just return tw merge with whatever classes we have. Okay, along with that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna utilize this tailwind group variant module. It basically allow us to group the variant. Let's suppose if you want to add two properties to the hover state, what we're gonna do, let me give you an example. So here I think let's add couple of properties to our cards first, and then we will see how we can merge them and then get use of this particular module, node module. So I'm going to add hover property, like it will basically add shadow lg to these cards. So I have this shadow lg. So what it is doing, it is adding the shadow to these cards. You see, whenever I hover on it, it is adding shadow to this card. Along with that, if I want to add outline as well, what I will do, I will again write this hover, and then I'll add outline. So it will add outline as well along with the shadow. But when we have lot of classes to add styling to our element or any component, so it's gonna be too long and it is very hard to understand by seeing it in the code. So to make it readable, I would say, to make our Tailwind classes readable, what we're gonna do, we're gonna utilize these two classes. So first, I already used, like in utility, what it's gonna do, whatever classes we will be adding, it will basically merge them using tailwind-merge. And along with that, this tailwind group, what it's gonna do, we have to install it. We already installed it, but we have to configure it a little bit. So what we need to do, we need to add this to our tailwind dot config.js. So I'm gonna just use it, and we have to add it like this. So for the content, we have this, but we can also add it in a object with saying files, and then we'll add a file. Along with that, we're gonna use this transform function here. So it will basically transform our existing classes so that they can be converted into Tailwind classes. So they have also given an example, like if we have, they would be having an example. Okay, so if we have these type of thing like MDPV20 and then LG with these things, what it's gonna do, it's gonna create these class multiple time, but it would be for the build purpose. It will not be there, it will not be visible there on our code. So it would be very readable for us. So let's try it and try to see how it's gonna look like. uh, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna just use these hover state to hover state and trying to merge them. So first we have these utility class. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use it. So it's saying first we have to configure it in tailwind.config.js or ts, whatever we have. So we are using TypeScript. Okay, we have tailwind.config.js. So in our JS file, we're gonna add this. We already added. Now we're gonna use this like this. So I'm gonna use it. So expand variant by just importing this particular module, and then we're gonna pass these classes to this expand variant. So whatever classes we have, we're gonna do map and then like this. So it's gonna use expand variant on each of the item, and then it will pass those values to the TW merge function, where it will merge all the classes. So by doing so, we're gonna use our custom class function, and will whatever values we will pass, it will merge. Along with that, it will use this expand variant tailwind group variant module, and it will create variants to it. Let's try it. So we have this. Let me export it as well, custom class, and I'm gonna use it in the card. So uh, by using this, we did that. Let me comment this out, and what we're gonna do, we're going to remove everything, and for class name I'm going to pass this custom class, and in that we have to create an array, and for every value we can by using this we can categorize or differentiate our different classes. So first I'll add all the common class from here to this. So we have this. Okay, and now first let's take a look how it's looking. It's looking whatever it was looking earlier, but now we gonna add couple of hover state and trying to see how it looks like. So for hover state, what we're gonna do, we're gonna just say hover and with colon, and we were saying this. Let me copy this as it is, and then we will convert it to whatever we want. So now it is adding outline and hover state to this particular card, hover state is this shadow. So I'm gonna add a little big shadow here to Excel so that we can differentiate. Now we can differentiate. We have outline and this shadow here. You see? So if we have, let's suppose, if we have 10 classes, so we have to write hover colon along with the class 10 times. But using this tailwind group variant, what we need to do, we need to combine them by just adding a comma and with this. So we write hover colon a single time, and then using these brackets, what we're gonna do, we're gonna just add our classes by separating them using comma. So you will see there would be no difference, and if we inspect it, you will see we have these class added at the runtime. But in our code, we just have single hover statement, single hover class, pseudo class, and then we are using this braces with comma separated class name. So I can also add like bg with whatever bg black, I would say. So it's gonna look like this. So whatever class we want, we can add like this here. It will help us to, separate our classes. So these would be general classes, these would be hover state, or I would say they can be different hover state. Let's suppose I'm using shadow and outline to this, but for text colors and background color, I'm gonna add new classes. So we can just pass like this hover again, and then maybe text, we can uh, text start. So it will basically, okay, let me remove bg black from here. So what it is doing, it is just moving text to the left side. Earlier we had text enter, but when we focus on it, it is adding three things. One is outline, second is shadow, and third is it is changing the orientation of this text. So earlier it was text center, now it is text left. So how it's the working for this, as I told you, we have at very first place we had this text center, but if we just add text start, so what it's gonna do, it's gonna merge these classes, and whatever class we use at the at our last item or the next item, so it will override. So we had this text center, now we have this text start, so it will merge it. So in our custom class, what we are doing, we are merging all the class, and then we are using expand variant so that we can combine those classes. So it is basically add text start instead of text center, because text center is our, I can say, we added it very first place, but at the next place we added text start. So whatever class would be the latest, it's going to use that instead of the oldest one. So we have text center. Now at the latest we use text start. So while merging, it will use the latest classes. So you also see px16, py10. But if I say p5, so what it's going to do, it's going to override the existing classes, and it will use or pass the latest classes. So p5 will override these paddings which we are adding at the top and bottom and left and right. So it's gonna basically it's gonna remove all the padding, and we will just have this text start and p5. You see there are no other paddings here, but if we remove this p5, we will basically have these px16 and py10. So how it gonna help us? So let's extend this card component and allow user to change the UI when they are using this component. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna remove this, we'll be using these hover state and different pseudo classes when we want to extend our UI. But for now, let's try to customize this card component so that user can extend the UI itself. So what I'm gonna do, I have removed these things. I'm just using custom class for now for the merging. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add this classes. So whatever thing we have here, so people add like this, okay, classes or class name. They add class name to it. So I'm gonna use it. So in the card, I'm gonna say class name, and it would be string. I'm making it optional. So if user don't want to extend it, they don't have to extend. So for the class name, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just pass it as a next variable to this, to our existing. We have this custom class, and for our existing custom class, I'm gonna add it next to our classes. But it's showing some error saying class name cannot find. So I'm gonna use this class name here as well. Now we still have this error. It's saying type string and undefined is not assignable to type string, because we are allowing string only. But I'm gonna uh, say string or undefined, and in expand variant, I'm gonna just return it whenever we have this item over here. Just a moment. So whenever we have this, we're gonna return this. So if we have item, then it would be expand variant. Otherwise, it would be just as null, I can say, or blank. Okay, just a moment. So we have this string or undefined as a classes. So I'm gonna merge it class.map item, and if item is not equal undefined, it's gonna return this expand variant. Otherwise it will return the blank classes. And instead of doing this, I'm gonna taking it like this. I'm gonna creating a variable all classes equals to this classes, and then I'll return tailwind-merge dot classes. Okay, nothing on type string, the file is not a type string. So there are nothing undefined. Okay, so if I don't define this, doing this. Otherwise, I'm just doing this as string. Okay, let's see how it's looking. It's looking good. So now we can add these class names. Okay, it should be, let's take a moment. What the problem is, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna make it faster. Dot reduce. Okay, so I want it to be array of string, comma undefined. Okay, or undefined. Okay, so we have everything good. Now we can add this. Okay, so what we did, we basically uh, allowed these classes, either they can be undefined or string, and then we just made this all class a string and just checking if any of the item is undefined or not. Otherwise it will just send the blank array, the blank value to the array, and then it will merge everything, and after merging it will remove the blank values and will just use the string values. In the card we can see, even though we have these optional string, we can directly pass to it. And let's make a use of it. How we can use, so we have this card, the last card. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna customize it. I'm not gonna change the component. I'll just customize it. I'll just customize this particular card. So I'll say I'm gonna add shadow to it, shadow to Excel. So you see all the components are same, but I can extend this particular component. So as a user, since this apps or TSX making the use of these all components, so I'm going to extend it without changing the existing component. It will be helpful for us when we're gonna create this derived component, because we will be modifying the UI of this component or any of the component. For now, we are extending the card component, but in other videos, in the next video, we're gonna use these things everywhere, this class name property everywhere, and we'll be allowing users to customize the UI of existing component as well. So thank you so much for watching this video, and definitely comment it out if you have any problem or issue, understanding any of the topic or the property. I'll explain it, but if you are following my playlist, you will definitely have understanding how we are using modules and how we are extending things. So just watch very first video and try to track all the upcoming videos as well, and you'll have all the understanding of whatever we're gonna do here. So thank you so much, and do subscribe. Bye bye.